I'm out here in our early summer field. This is our earliest planting of field crops, and we have 2 crops from this field listed this week, which is exciting. They're our first ones, and I love this time of year when the field crops start coming in. One, because I really like a lot of this stuff. There's some kind of like small flowered meadowy type things which I think are gorgeous. And also there's a lot of them, and so for us it's a little bit of a stress reliever. You know, we're not just relying on the greenhouses or smaller plantings for production. We actually get our full field plantings, which is great. So a couple of the things that we have coming this week is this Amoebium, which is really beautiful little white daisy-like flowers, but they're really a lot like straw flowers, so they're kind of dry and crinkly on the plant even when they're fresh, and then they do dry beautifully. So you can actually have these in a vase for about a week, and then you could take them out and dry them and have them. Behind me there's also a beautiful crop of Ami, which I might list later in the week. It's not quite ready. And behind that is some blue borage with silvery foliage, which we really enjoy. Now, one of our biggest challenges this time of year are weeds. You can see some in the aisles behind me, but actually this field is pretty well controlled for weeds. And we've been struggling on working with in the dahlia section with some of the weeds this past week. So I want to show you some of our kind of what we're dealing with, and also some of the tools that we use to deal with the weeds. So this is an interesting little spot in our field. Where I'm standing right in the middle here is actually an irrigation lane. So it's weedy, but we're not going to worry about it. We'll just mow it when they get too high. On the right over here, we have a nicely weeded dahlia bed, the first few little sprouts starting to come up. And to my left, a bed where the cultivation didn't go so well. This is a really weedy spot of our field. It's low and it's wet, so we usually get lots of grasses and things in here. But this one that didn't go so well, the weeds were just a little bit too big. With our cultivation equipment on the tractors, timing is everything. So we missed a cultivation because of a rainstorm. We just couldn't get out. The field was too muddy. And then this one on the right actually looked the same, and then we had to come out as a crew with a bunch of hose and kind of deal with this grass and get rid of it. So we just haven't done this bed on the left yet. But it can go to show you, just by missing a few days, how bad it can get really quickly this time of year. Until solstice, you know, mid to late June, the weeds are just forming a thick carpet really quickly. And with our 2 most used cultivators on the farm, I'm sitting on our finger weeder, hooks up to the tractor. There's a little seat on the back that you can steer, and there's these little knives and fingers down there that take care of the weeds. Works really well, really effective, great on our 3-row crops, which is almost everything. And the only thing that we have to get right is the timing, and hope that the weather cooperates with us. Over here we have our tine weeder. As you can see, it's just like a bunch of tines that scrape along the ground. So we use that on the dahlia beds until the dahlias come up, because the dahlias will not come up in nice neat rows. They're just not very cooperative. So this kind of weeds the whole bed top, but again, timing's got to be perfect. It can only take care of little tiny weeds, and it doesn't pull the bigger plants out of the ground. So very helpful, but our third and probably most important tool is just a bunch of us with a bunch of hose. Mostly dealing with weeds a lot this week, and will be for a lot of weeks. And in the meantime, a lot more flowers are coming in on the farm. We still have peonies, but it's the last of them. They're almost done. You guys love peonies. You bought us out really fast. Thank you. And we have lilies coming in this week, and like I said, the first field crops. And we have gorgeous tall snapdragons from the greenhouse this week. They're like the best crop I've ever seen. And a few other trees, sweet peas on the vine, and this is the last week for colibri poppies, and I'm sure there's other fun things I'm not thinking of. So, all right, thanks a lot. I'll see you next week. Bye.